Hello again from my front porch. Well, I, Paul Smith, being of sound mind or a reasonable facsimile thereof, do hereby bequeath. I know it's an odd way to begin, but you see, I feel like I'm about to take my life into my own hands. I'm about to put myself into a high risk situation. See, tomorrow is my family Thanksgiving, and traditionally I don't make anything because I really don't cook much. It's not that I can't cook. I can, and I can learn things, do stuff. I just haven't ever really done much because, well, I mean, first of all, when I was married, my ex-wife, she would cook, and I mean, we went out to eat a lot too. But she was a good cook, and she would do that. Well, even after I was divorced and my daughter was still living with me, my daughter started cooking because my daughter was not long after that got engaged, and so her theory was she needed to start practicing so that she could, be a wife and and help prepare the food. And so then I got to be the guinea pig while she was learning those things. And it's okay because she actually did pretty good. She there were very few times that she would make something that we would go, I don't know about that. But as I've been on my own now for the last several years, it's just predominantly been me at the house. I don't really cook a lot because it's a lot of work to make something from scratch, and it makes a big mess too, which I hate cleaning up the mess afterwards as well. It's just so much easier to find some prepackaged things or to just go somewhere and eat something and then not have to worry about all the other. Now, the problem with the prepackaged things or even going somewhere to eat is it's hard to find stuff that you should be eating, and hence the reason that I've actually put on a few pounds. I got to be working on that to get that back in line. But it's still, the point being, I haven't cooked a lot. But there is one thing that I have traditionally cooked, although I haven't cooked it in years because. In a couple of years about. So when I was diagnosed type 2 diabetic, I stopped making it. Is my dad's goulash. And it's called dad's goulash because originally my dad was making it, and then I took what he did and I tweaked it and enhanced it a bit myself. And then now my son has taken that and continues to tweak and enhance it for his purposes too. So it just keeps evolving, and really, people have before asked what's the recipe of it. And I did concoct a recipe one time for a church cookbook. But the reality is there is no recipe. The reality is you start with some basic things like a pound of hamburger, package of large elbow macaroni noodles, and that's really about it as far as the consistent things. Then you have some kind of sauce or sauces, and then you have seasoning or seasonings, and then you have any other additives you want to put in, and it kind of is whatever do I feel like doing right now. and so it's kind of a grab bag kind of thing. And so that being the case, because the pasta mainly, because type 2 diabetic, I'm supposed to avoid carbs as much as possible, and so pasta, of course, being a big one of them. And I used to love to eat pasta all the time, enjoyed lots of Italian food, but my dad's goulash, pasta, foundational tenet. So since it's been just me, and since I'm not supposed to be eating the pasta anyway, I just stopped making it. Well, so then last week there was the Filipino American Society of Iowa's. Not just this weekend that just passed, but the week before that. There was Filipino American Society of Iowa had their Honoring Our Veterans event, and it was a big potluck thing. And all the board members were all like, "So what are you bringing? What you making?" And it came around to me, and instead of just passing and making a joke about, I'm not making anything because I don't really cook, I thought, you know what? I'll make a batch of my dad's goulash, and it'll be really tasty. It'd be kind of fun to do it again. It's been a while, and it was a little bit scary because even as I was at the store shopping for the ingredients, I was like, now let's see, what did I need again? And it's like, it has been so long, I'm forgetting how to do it. Oh no! So I got the ingredients. I came, we'll make it, and I discovered I did mess up. I've instead of using ketchup now, which is what my dad used, I've started using crushed tomatoes, and it's the same basic ultimate concept, but I think it tastes better. I think it's a little bit better. But this time I mistakenly grabbed cans of diced tomatoes, and so they didn't have any of the sauce dynamic to it. I did try squishing them, but it just didn't produce quite the same result. And so because of that, I wound up using a lot more A1 and barbecue sauce and some other things that I put in mine. And everybody said it was tasty. Everyone said it was great. They loved it. It was fantastic. And I had some, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't what I wanted it to be. And so my family's Thanksgiving coming up tomorrow, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to take another shot at making the dad's goulash. Except I'm going to pay more attention to the ingredients I buy this time, so that I make sure I buy the right stuff and I make it the way I want to make it this time. And so had that epiphany last night that that's what I should do. Because I was blowing. They were asking. Everyone's saying, "Here's what we're bringing." And Paul, what are you bringing? I'm like, I still don't know. So last night I'm like, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make dad's goulash. And so this morning here, today, I need to run to HyVee to go get the ingredients. Now, that in and of itself may not sound like a bad thing, but see, the sun is coming out. The clouds are parting a bit, and it's saying, here's this big issue that you got to deal with, Paul. And it is, because it's the day before Thanksgiving, and I'm about to go to the grocery store. I might as well be going to Walmart on Christmas Eve. This is why I was saying I'm taking my life into my own hands, because I have no idea what I'm about to walk into up there. The only thing that I have in my favor is that I'm going here, and it's just a little before lunchtime, and that I'm going now to get the stuff, as opposed to at the end of the day today. Because I can only imagine what it's like when people get off work at 5 o'clock or something, and then they're going, we need for Thanksgiving tomorrow. And I don't want to be anywhere near the place then. So I'm going to go do it now while I have the chance. I tell you, family gatherings and food and get-togethers, they are a lot of fun, but man, they can be stressful too. But hopefully this won't be the last front porch ever, but just in case... in case I don't survive my trip to HyVee. And it's funny too, because as I was thinking about doing this, I pulled up Facebook earlier, and a friend of mine who works at HyVee actually posted what I thought was hysterical. It was a picture of HyVee with Mel Gibson and dressed up in his Braveheart stuff, Braveheart all in the foreground. It's like instead of freedom, it's like turkey. But I kind of feel like it might be that way. Okay, it's Thanksgiving Eve, and I'm gonna go to the grocery store. Gird up, get ready for battle. Let's go. Okay, well, hopefully I'm way over dramatizing it. It's nowhere near that bad. All right, well, with that, wish me luck, and I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.